Mm. Welcome, dear magical friends and creators. It is day 5 of this 5-day journey, and I really hope you have enjoyed it so far. Let me know in the chat box if there are any thoughts, reflections, or things you'd like to share as we go through today's live stream. We arrive to the closing of this journey, but it's not the end of the offerings, of course. But let's focus on what it is we're wrapping up. The sock you've been knitting finds its final shape. It becomes your own sock, and you're ready to knit the second one following the same process and the same steps. You're also ready to make it your own. And like I promised yesterday, we're going to see how we can choose a place and sew on a special symbol. And you can do the same one if you want that I'm doing, or you can create your own. You are like a traveler who returned with something no one could see at the start of the journey, but everyone knew was coming. You've created your first magical sock and you're ready to create the second one. The golden threads of this journey, found deep in the woods of fairy tale realm, wove our journey together with symbolism and magical inspirations. And I really hope that they were not only inspiring and fun, but also practical in some ways for your own inner work. In today's email, you have a link to the skills video where I'm showing to you how to do the toe section. Now, remember the green sock goes down to 10 stitches for a more round toe box, but this blue sock I created with a more pointy toe box. People have different tastes, so you might, if you want this type of shape, you will want to do a few more rounds of decreases so that you end with 6 stitches, total of 12, 6 on top and the bottom. When you're working on that, you will know exactly what I'm telling you. If you haven't seen the video for the skills of closing the toe box, then this may not make sense, but you'll get there. Finishing the socks is not a race. It's much like a blessing ritual. And also, in today's email, you have pages from my knitting journal. And there you now have all 7 of the pages, which include some of my notes. That will help you get inspiration for blessing and consecrating your socks after you have finished them. Before we focus on embellishing our socks with a special symbol, let's have a moment of our little live stream ritual. Let's hold the sock you've made in your hands in front of your heart. Maybe also the yarn, and maybe even the start of the second sock if you started the second one. I walk the fairy tale forest realm, and I carry its magic forth in my dreams, in my blessings, in my joys, and my love for the world. I wear my socks with purpose and love, and I walk in beauty of the world around me. So now let's see how we can create a symbol. I want to switch so that you can see my hands working. So you will first want to sketch out the symbol you want to make. And I told you yesterday that mine is going to be a heart for these socks. Then you will want to decide how many stitches this heart is going to need. So I sketched the little heart symbol here, and as I think about it, it will need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches. So this will be the middle stitch. I will put the line in the center of one of the square columns on my graph paper. Then I'm going to put the X for this point on the heart. Then I will put these two. Each of these little squares represents a stitch. Then I will put 2 and 2, 2 and 2. Then I will do these 4 down the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have 1, 2, 3 and the middle one. 1, 2, 3 and the middle. 1, 2, 3 and the middle. I can leave it just like this, or I can have a little addition in the middle of the heart that might remind me of the water symbol for water and the emotional realm. I do want to do that. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put this stitch 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 here, and then these two, and these two. Now I chose a brighter color of yarn, and the place where I'm going to put this symbol also is meaningful. I could put it here so that it is on the heel flap on the back of my sock, and it is visible most of the time that I wear my sock, so that others can see it, and the symbol can also inspire them to walk the world with love in their heart. I could put it on the bottom of the foot. That would be in connection with the earth, and it would be a fitting place if I want to set the intention that each step I take in these socks sends my love to Mother Earth, for example. You could put it here on the front or here on top of the foot, here on top of the foot part of the sock. This could be a fitting place if I, for example, have the intention that when I walk in the socks, my heart and the love for the world always lead the way. Oh, hi, Katie. I'm so glad you made it. All right. So now I'm going to thread the yarn needle with this brighter color yarn here. I'm going to cut a good length of yarn. Now I don't want to make any knots, so I want a good length to have a good tail on the inside. So I will want to roll my sock down. And I want to decide where to put this heart. I want it somewhere here, right above the toe section, so that I see it most of the time as I'm walking. Of course, without shoes. And you see these socks are knitted on thicker needles with thicker yarns. You're probably going to wear them around the house. So we're going to find the middle here and choose the place for the bottom of the heart. Now, as you're doing this, right there where you want the heart to be, you're choosing the bottom of one of these stitches. So leave a good amount of thread so you can weave it in later. You learned last night how to do weaving in of the ends. Now, it's right at the bottom of this stitch here. And as we embroider that, we want it to look like the knitted stitches. So you see how this stitch goes around and down? That's exactly what we want to do. We want to put the needle through there. See how it traces the stitch we're sewing over? Then our needle is going to go back here at the bottom of that stitch. Now look at the pattern. You want to go either left or right. I'm going to go to the left and I'm going to do this stitch next. So from here, I want to go to the bottom of the stitch to the left. And I'm tracing the shape of my knitted stitches here. So now I'm tracing the shape of this stitch. So I put the needle here behind. You see how the stitch will go behind? So my sewing stitch goes behind. And then I go down because I want to trace this knitted stitch. Where does the needle go up? The needle goes up for this third stitch to the left. So not next, but one up to the left. We have two first stitches of our heart. 1, 2, 3. I trace the way that this looks and make my little sewn stitches look like knitted stitches. So the symbol becomes part of the sock. Now the next one will be here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to 1 to the left and up. You don't want to pull too tight. It's better that these are bigger than that you pull too tight and squish and make them disappear. Every time you're following the shape of the knitted stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one is again to the left and up. This is the one I just did. So now 1, 2, 3 straight up above. So I only go straight up. It's only one little step upwards. Now I do this stitch, making it look like it's the knitted stitch. Now one more, just one little step up. And one more, one little step up. Okay, so now you go to the right. 1, 2, 1 up, 1 to the right, and 1 right next to it. I can go from this side now. It's going to make it easier to trace the stitch the way it's knitted. It's almost like knitting from that side over. Here are those two. And now I want to go 1 to the right and down. I'm moving in this direction, so you see me also tracing the stitches in this direction. And then again, 1 to the right and down. So not next to it, but 1 down. I think you're getting now what the process is. So I'm going to start telling you a little bit about the forest gate in fairy tales and why I ended up calling this journey and this pattern for the socks, the forest gate socks, and what that was inspired by. One of the places where the ancient forest gate appears are Tolkien's Hobbit and related retellings. But it is a much older term, for there are portals in the forests that ancient wisdom keepers have known of and kept teaching about. So some ways and ideas of returning to go through the ancient forest gates exist in teachings that relate to journeys of transformation. And in fairy tales, as you've seen throughout this journey, we often see characters entering a forest, encountering trials, or having to face various tests of skill and capacity, transforming themselves and their lives, gaining knowledge or blessings in the process. The forest gate can symbolize also a threshold between the world that's familiar to us and the realm of the unknown, mystery. There's also a sense of nostalgia in the fairy tale forest imagery. Stories of returning to magical places we've once known, tapping into that which we may have forgotten and may need in order to thrive, heal, renew, empower ourselves. There's also a sense of growth and self-discovery every time one journeys into the fairy tale forest realm and crosses various gates and portals. There are often guardians we encounter, ancient allies, ancestors, animal friends, plant allies, sometimes guiding us, sometimes guarding a treasure that we will be given once we can prove we're worthy or capable of protecting it and guarding it. So you noticed in your email for day 5, there was no link to a story. That's because I have a story to tell you while we're working on our socks. The story is called The Forest Gate and the Whispering Return. The girl in the story ventured through the mystical forest gates and entered the enchanted murky woods beyond. She found herself, let me make sure I don't skip the stitch. She found herself back on the familiar threshold. The ancient trees were forming an archway around the threshold, promising an exciting adventure ahead. And there were whispers of tales and wonders she is about to encounter. She longed to hear again the secrets rustling in the deep woods where the forest dwellers reside. She knew the forest gate wasn't merely a boundary, but a portal into a realm where the laws of mundane world yielded way to those of magic and mystery. As the girl stood at the edge, a gentle wind rustled through the ivy and the branches of the trees, carrying whispers of the forest dwellers she remembered from her previous journeys. The girl understood that the journey through the forest gate once again would be yet another adventure. It would be a return to a part of herself she had once discovered and is here to rediscover and rescue within the depths of the enchanted fairy tale realm. The path beyond the gate appearing as a small, bright opening within the forest's gloom beckoned her to go forward, promising new adventures and encounters with the magical friends she had once met for the first time and is now eager to find and bring back into her life again. The girl knew that the forest held a special significance for those who had the eyes to see, the ears to hear, and the heart to understand its mysteries, and that returning to its embrace was much of a homecoming for her brave, adventurous heart. And so she bravely walked through the gates. And as she walked through the gates, we also returned to the journey of our own and to the path that doesn't end now, but it becomes a longer open road that I do hope you will continue to walk with our circle at the Rose and the Bee Magical School of Fiber Arts. The gates to our next circle will open when the time is right, and the stars whisper that it's time for us to gather again. I will let you know when that is. Until then, the playlist for this journey will stay available on our YouTube channel. But there are more tales coming on the blog. There are some new rituals, guided masterclasses, and surprise offerings that will be coming. So stay in touch with us. Watch your inbox And also follow Instagram posts and join in Telegram conversations. May your feet remember the forest paths of your own fairy tale realms. May your craft carry the light of your soul and the joy in your heart. And may the fiber threads always lead you to where it feels like the most joyous place of home. I want you to know that there will be a closing email over the weekend in your inbox with a recap, links that you can save all in one place. And I do hope you will continue to be with us in the circle, join new journeys, join new offerings, and keep an eye out for more surprise offerings that are coming soon. Let me know what you would like to know so that we can include it in the blog posts. I love writing those blog posts and knowing what you are wondering about or working on or would like to share would be great to include there too. Comment, stay in touch, and see you soon in the fairy tale forest where fairy tales meet fiber threads. Blessings to you and all of yours in